What up, smart rapper? Today I got a great question. That is, what are the things that you should look for when you're reviewing your own music? Now I have like 5 things that I look for and then I think that you should look for when reviewing your own music to know if it's actually good enough to release or if it's like the best that you could possibly put out. We're gonna talk about that today. I'm Rob Level, this is smartrapper.com, and you're gonna get smarter right after the intro. Number one, you're gonna wanna listen through your song, and if something just doesn't sound right to you, and usually for me it's this, there's this like gut instinct. It's like this feeling, you're like, that's not right, I could do that better. And you don't wanna be lazy about it. You wanna go back and do it. And a perfect example actually happened yesterday. I was in the studio writing a song, and 90% of it were like, yes, but there was this 10% of it that were just like, this isn't right. It's not 100% where we want it to be. And making these slight changes could be something as simple as changing the way you say a word. So what we did is we went from just saying like, know that you believe this, to going, know that you believe this, like just changing the way you say it so that it becomes more entertaining to the listener. Go back through, fluctuate words, change the way you say words, change the way you deliver words, take syllables out, add syllables, stretch vowels out, and see how everything's gonna sound, and just test things. If it doesn't sound right to you, you need to change it because it's not gonna sound right to somebody else. Let's move forward. Number 2, make sure that your primary flow pattern or the rhythm that you're using or the melody is as catchy as it possibly can be. And what I typically want to tell you guys is if you're gonna go find your melody or your rhythm, whatever like that, you don't want it to just be bland. You don't want it to just be you rhyming, because that doesn't stand out. You have to find a unique pattern that sounds really good. So if you don't have a unique pattern, it's not gonna intrigue the listener. If you're just like rhyming, especially, well, these are other things, we're gonna go through those. But if it doesn't sound good to the ear, it doesn't matter what the words are saying, okay? So you need to have the best melody possible. And for instance, if you look at something like a lot of Future songs, the same like melody and then they'll slightly change it. You know what I'm saying? Or like look at Rockstar, because that's relevant right now. Like, I've been fucking Billy Monday when it was a rock star. And a lot of the songs like that, and then he only changes his melody up one time. And that's the most commercial you can get, where you pretty much only have like 2 main like melody flows, and they fluctuate, but they're both so stupid catchy. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure that your flow pattern is as catchy as it possibly can be, and if it's not, go back, rewrite it, and keep rewriting it until you find a catchy one. Otherwise, your song's not going to keep getting listened to by the people you want to listen to it. Number 3 goes a little bit back to what I just said, but you need to consider changing your flow pattern at least every 8 bars, and sometimes every 4 bars. And you can go to listen to almost any artist out there, and a great example I always like giving is Eminem Criminal. If you go listen to Eminem Criminal, every 4 bars, it's like this different approach to how he's saying it. He's changing his voice, he's delivering it. It's the melody or the way that you're saying things are gonna change so that it's entertaining to the listener. Because if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, it gets boring, it gets repetitive. A rule of thumb in a songwriting book is to actually use the same melody until the listener wants to rip his hair out, but right before he wants to rip his hair out, you change the melody. Right, so that's a really good rule of thumb, is because you're keeping them entertained with the same thing, and they like it, they're used to it, it's so simplistic, and then you change it on them, and then they're like, oh, this is new, and then you can even go back to it, and that's actually how most hit songs are actually written. Number 4, when you're reviewing it, make sure that your flows are hitting in all the right parts. If they're not, there's 2 things you can do. 1, you can re-record, which you probably don't want to do, but 2, which you probably never thought about doing, is you could actually go in and you can shift your vocals inside of the thing. So if you're like, oh, that's not hitting on beat, you can go in and cut your vocal inside of the software you're using inside of your digital audio workstation, and you can move it to fit, or you can use something like Melodyne where you can actually adjust even where the words were said, and that's what they do. A lot of people don't even know that exists, but if somebody there's a rapper comes in the studio and he lays something down, he doesn't do it as good as he possibly can, they can just be like, oh, well, he could have said this word longer, so let's stretch the word out. Like, yeah, it gets like that. They could actually change the place where how you say the word. They can change everything in post. So consider doing that, because you want to make sure that when somebody's listening to your song, they can bob their head to it and they don't like get interrupted while listening to it, because they need to be able to vibe. So you need to be hitting on beat. And a good rule of thumb that I always tell people is generally, and it depends on the type of rap that you do, because it depends on the beat as well, but typically your stressed syllables are going to be hitting on the kicks and the snares. okay? If you don't know much about that, I have a rap flow course you can check out. I'll put a link below, or you go to smartrapper.com/rapflow. That'll bring you to the course. I actually go through all that. I show you how to take lyrics and put them on the beats, and how to take freestyles or pre-written lyrics and flow them on any beat. I flow, the same bars on numerous different beats, and show you how the delivery comes out differently because of the beat. And it's a really dope course. You can check that out. Or you can just, yeah, I would say check that out. Otherwise, you're gonna have to go collect all this information, and I already put it all in the package for you. So go check that out. I'll put a link below. And number 5, most importantly, more than anything, is be honest with yourself, because you are your own biggest critic. As long as you're not like a complete douchebag, you're like, everything I make's great. Well, that's not the attitude that's gonna get you anywhere. You need to look at everything that you have and think to yourself, is this as best as I could possibly make it? Is this the best me? Is this the best bars? Is this the best flow? Can I rewrite that better? Because if the answer is yes on any of that, without overthinking it, with just being straight honest with yourself, you need to rewrite it, right? You can't just be lazy and just do it, okay? Now there is something about this though. Eventually, when you are more pro and you are super good and you have years of songwriting experience, your first tries and your first takes and everything like that are the more natural ones, are actually gonna be exceptionally good. But it's gonna take you years to get there. So in the beginning stages, you're gonna do a lot of rewriting and understanding what fits and what works and what matches. But until then, you need to rewrite. You need to write more. You need to test more flows. You need to scat more. You need to do more. You need to try different melodies and different rhythms and different flow patterns, and see what works for you, what works for your voice, what works for your style, and more appropriately, what works for the beat that you're actually hopping on. All right, you got this. You just became a smarter rapper. I'm Rob Level. This is smartrapper.com. Hit me with a like. Hit me with a subscribe. Hit me with a comment. Actually, I want to tell people to start doing this. I want to see if you guys would actually do this, because I think it'll be great practice for you. But start, every time I release a video, I want you guys to start dropping 4 bars below. Drop 4 bars about what this video is about for practice, so you can get into the groove of practicing. And then I want everybody else to start liking and giving people feedback on the way that they're writing their bars. Let's start this and make this a stronger community, because we're growing, we're growing fast. We're growing fast right now, y'all. And I'd like to, first off, thank you so much for sticking with me through this, because I've released over 100 and some, there's like 400 videos on this channel, but I've released like over like 120 videos in a row now or something like that. And I wouldn't have done it if you guys didn't keep watching these videos. So thank you so fucking much. Seriously, thank you so much. And don't forget, we have the Smart Rap, the contest going on, where you can win a whole full home studio. That's on the main channel. You can go check that out. And I put a link below as well. Yeah, hit that subscribe button, and when you hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell, because it's gonna notify you every time I release a new video, so you could become a smarter rapper. And I release a new video every day, so you're gonna keep getting smarter. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow with another video. I'm Rob Level, this is smartrapper.com. Here's some more videos. I've been up all day. Trying to make my way.